Sounds good.
DJ Metal Craig with Craig's Metal Storm here, and I have one of the members of Dead Asylum with me. Hey, how's it going? And would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure, Craig. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Sam Landa, and I'm the drummer from Dead Asylum.
What's the origin of your band name?
Well, it's not as exciting as maybe you would seem. There was no big idea one day. We were all just in the basement, probably having beers with a bunch of paper and pens, and we were just saying, here, how about some cool words that we like? And some of us were throwing around medical terminology, some were throwing around like mythological terminology, and we actually really liked the name Asylum, and then I think we looked it up, and there's like 20 bands named Asylum or something, just in the US alone, and so I can't remember how exactly we got to Dead Asylum, and we thought, well, it's going to be tough to come up with a one-word name unless we really take the time to invent something, and I guess we were feeling kind of lazy, so we thought, yeah, Dead Asylum has a good ring to it, and since then, I find that people will say, oh, I've heard of you guys, in kind of it's a familiar sounding name to a lot of people, and so maybe if they haven't even heard of us, they actually haven't heard the band or heard of the band, it's a familiar sounding name, so people seem to like it.
Can I get you go into a bit about the medical terminology and the other thing you listed? Go into some detail about that, please.
Sure, yeah, no, medical terminology, I mean, this is how we settled on Asylum, is we all liked the idea of something being like the cold, dark isolation of old school like, medical facilities, and that's how we ended up with Asylum, but I mean, we were throwing around, I can't remember the exact terms, but we were looking for words that either for really screwed up diseases and really obscure diseases, old medical tools, I think. And then in terms of mythology, I mean, everything seems to be taken with those categories and for metal. So I think for mythology, we were looking at, like ancient beasts, we were looking at ancient Egypt, we were looking at ancient Greece, we were looking at, animals that lived in hell and stuff like that. Just stuff that we thought was kind of brutal and kind of your stereotypical metal words. But yeah, they were either taken already or we didn't like how they sounded or the name was going to be too long, too hard to pronounce or too hard to spell. So we went with 2 words that people would recognize.
How long have you all known each other?
So Mike and I are the 2 original members of the band. We have had 2 other guys join us since founding the band. So Mike and I have known each other maybe since 2008 or something. Our old bands used to play some shows together. We knew each other from the metal scene. Roger, our bass player, him and Mike have known each other for probably over 20 years. They go way back. And then Eric, I met Eric, I guess a few years ago, maybe 5 years ago. I don't know about the other guys, but yeah. So Mike and Roger know each other for a long time. I've known Mike since maybe 2008. Yeah.
Can I get you to go into some history about the past bands for the band members?
Yeah, for sure. I guess I'll start with myself since I'm talking. So I used to be in a band called Scythia, kind of like folk metal. They're now based in Calgary. So I was one of the founding members of that band. We did some touring, did an album. I left that band, and then I was in another project that didn't really go anywhere, and then started Dead Asylum in 2011. Mike used to be in a band called Theocide for a few years. They did a lot of playing around Vancouver. Eric was in a band called X-Pain, or formerly Excruciating Pain. Roger he's currently in another band called God Said Kill. He actually is a really killer guitarist, but he plays bass with us. Roger comes from a few other bands. He was in a band called Raw for a long time. I'm not sure about Eric's past bands other than X-Pain, but we all come from very different backgrounds. Some a little bit hard rock, a little bit I came from like folk metal. I was in ska bands and other things. Like we've all come from different bands, different subgenres.
How did you meet?
Well, Mike and I knew each other. Do you mean how did we come together in terms of forming the band?
That, and how did you meet, like, outside of the band and all that?
Okay. I can only speak for myself. I know that Roger and Mike have known each other for a long time, but I could maybe Mike can tell you that story. I met Mike. Our bands used to play together. Seaside and Cynthia used to play together. So Mike and I decided to start jamming, and then there's another story about the formation of the band there. And then I guess we all met Eric around the same time because we're all involved in the Vancouver metal scene, the local band scene, and so we already knew Eric from X-Pain. So when the lead guitar position became available, Eric was the first person that we thought of. So, yeah.
What inspired you to make music together?
That's a good question. A little bit. Just some of us were in between bands, and we just wanted, we were tired of sitting around and not playing with people. Personally, I love playing music because I love performing. I love seeing other people's reactions to the music. It's a very, it's an amazing stress relief. It's just such a fun thing to do. I love being on stage. I was sick of sitting around not doing anything. I think Mike was feeling the same way. And then two other guys, that they're no longer in the band, but the former lead guitarist and bassist, they've been playing together for many years, and they had been in previous bands together, and I think they were just looking for other members to fill out the band. Mike and I were looking for other members to fill out the band, so that's, I think it's just out of the passion of wanting to make music, write songs, perform for people, tour, just everything.
What is your music background?
Like genre-wise, or like
as in musical instruments.
For me personally, I started with classical piano, and I played piano for almost 10 years as a kid. And then I switched to drums, and I guess I started playing drums when I was 11 in concert band, and kind of went from there. I can only really speak for myself in terms of musical background. The other guys have been playing for a long time. Mike plays bass and guitar mostly. Eric also plays bass guitar. I know he can play drums as well. Eric is also a teacher, music teacher. And Roger also does mostly guitar and bass, but I think he can play other instruments as well.
Who are your musical influences?
As a band or personally?
Personally.
Personally? Well, my influences have changed a lot over the years, although I guess at the time they were shaping my drumming style. I was really a big fan of Mike Portnoy for a long time in high school. He was one of the first drummers that I was brought on to, who played double kick, and that kind of got me into metal drumming and prog kind of stuff. My first drumming influence was Mercedes from Kitty, partly because I was like, oh, there's another girl who's playing like heavy drums. So that was pretty cool. I really liked Martin Lopez, who was in Opeth, mostly because, he really influenced me in a lot of ways because he really infused like that Latin and jazz grooves into metal drumming, and I thought that he was less predictable than a lot of other metal drummers. And then, just music-wise, it's just such a mix of things. Sometimes I listen to like melodic death, sometimes it's more like, upbeat kind of stuff. I had a power metal phase. Before metal, I listened to a lot of like, cheesy pop punk and, hardcore and radio rock, alternative, that kind of stuff. So, it really comes from a lot of different places for me.
What are your immediate music career goals?
The big thing is just to do more touring. So, I mean, I was touring with another band last year, which was awesome in all ways. For Dead Asylum, I mean, we want to finally do cross Canada. We played Western Canada a lot. We've done the Western U.S. We have a full U.S. tour coming up later in the year. But big goal is to play Eastern Canada and Europe. Dead Asylum needs to go to Europe. I think that our style of metal is very European influenced, and I think that we would do hopefully pretty well there, or we would be maybe well received in Europe. So yeah, big music goals is just doing more touring, bring Dead Asylum to Europe, just do more with the band. I mean, we had some lineup changes, and we were a bit stagnant for a bit. For a few years, we didn't do a lot of writing. We mostly played locally, so I don't know. I just love getting out there and being in front of people and playing and just making people move. And yeah.
Who handles your daily business activities, bookings, promotions, and all that?
That's mostly me. Mike definitely helps a lot with that. I mean, everybody contributes in one way or another. But I guess I have a business background. I run my own business, and I'm just kind of drawn to that stuff. I think I'm also kind of a perfectionist, and it's kind of hard to ask people to help. So yeah, I do most of the booking along with Mike. I applied for I do all the visa application paperwork, most of the online stuff, although Mike helps with some of the social media, built the website, yeah, so, I mean, we all kind of work together, but yeah, I'd say most of the business stuff kind of falls in my lap.
Where have you performed?
So Dead Asylum has mostly performed in Western Canada. We also did a Western US tour a few years back. And that's kind of it. I mean, we've done, around BC, we've done Armstrong Metal Fest a number of times. We played a few times Calgary Metal Fest, played Edmonton, Red Deer, Lethbridge, Kelowna, Kamloops, Prince George, a few other places. We played on the island, and then all down the west coast of the U.S. But we've kind of been limiting ourselves geographically, and so we're doing a full-on month-long U.S. tour coming up in August, September, where we're going to East Coast, South, West, coming back, and then kind of take it from there.
What are your favorite and least favorite venues?
Ooh, good question. One's that Dead Asylum has played here.
Yeah, favorite and least favorite.
Favorite and least favorite, okay. Favorite venue, I'm partial to the Rickshaw in Vancouver. That's kind of like almost like our home venue. Like when we play in Vancouver, we usually play at the Rickshaw Theater. The staff there is awesome. I love the venue. It's always good. It's always a good time, good crowd. I like the layout. Green room's great. I don't know. I mean, it's just, it's great. Worst venue? It's hard to say, and I don't want to insult anybody, because even at the smaller, shittier venues, people are generally still pretty good to us. What's the worst venue that we've played? I know I'm missing something. I don't know. I don't know what the worst. Everybody's got their ups and downs. I mean, there's a venue that had a hole in the drum platform in the stage on the island. I won't call them out, but there were other good things about them. But there was a hole in the drums that kept bouncing. That wasn't good. I mean, we kind of played very, very small, hole-in-the-wall venues where like the crowd's been awesome, but the promoter's been great. So I don't think there's really a worst venue that we've played that I can think of off the top of my head.
Do you have any upcoming shows?
Yes. So this was my big interview. This Friday, June 2nd, we have our album release show. That's at the Rickshaw, actually, with Unleash the Archers. It's a dual CD release, and then we are playing Victoria and Nanaimo the following weekend, also with Unleash the Archers. And then we are playing at the Loud as Hell Festival in Drumheller, Alberta, and that's going to be awesome. I think Battlecross is headlining. And then we are going on our tour, which starts in Spokane, Washington, goes all the way around the U.S., comes back to Seattle and back. And then we have another show in September that hasn't been announced yet. It's going to be a bigger one in Vancouver.
Where would the ultimate venue for you to play be?
Bakken? probably like Bakken or Summer Breeze or one of the metal fests in Europe would probably be the ultimate venue.
Which songs do you perform most frequently?
Oh, most frequently, probably Payable in Blood from the first album. We play that a lot, and people seem to like it, so we keep playing it. I think we played it in almost every set. That one, Welcome as well, which is on the new album. We play that quite a bit. I'd say those two. I think Payable and Welcome. Payable in Blood and Welcome are probably the ones we played most.
Do you ever play any covers?
The only cover we have ever played, and we played it at a few shows, is Pursuit of Vikings by Monomart.
Who writes your songs?
At this point, Mike does most of the writing. We're hoping that our new, he's relatively new lead guitarist, hope that he'll get to contribute some more riffs. Although he writes all the leads and does an awesome job at that. I'd say Mike writes most of the songs. Mike writes the lyrics. Our previous lead guitarist, who was also our secondary vocalist, he used to also contribute songs and lyrics. But moving forward, or at least at this point, it's mostly Mike. But the way that we write is pretty cool. I mean, we're doing more writing as a unit these days, where Mike will have riffs or part of the song, and maybe he'll send it to us or he'll show it to us, and we'll kind of jam on it. We might come up with some other riffs while we're together, and then usually we're able to kind of put together the rest of the framework together, which is really great.
Can I get you to go into some detail about the writing procedure behind the album?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for this album, we had a few songs that we wrote, I don't know, in the last few years since the last album. And so we've just been playing it for a while, waiting for, to finish writing the album. So as soon as we had a complete new lineup, as of the end of the summer of 2016, then we got together and we basically wrote the rest of the album. So we wrote at least 4 songs that are on the new album. And it was mostly Mike would come up with some riffs. He would send it to us online, especially when I was on tour in Europe with Nervosa. So Mike would be sending the riffs, sending the files. We'd be listening to them, giving feedback, and then when I got back from that tour and we were all jamming again, then we just polished them, finished them up, and that was it. Usually lyrics will come last, so.
Can I get you to go into some detail about the sound and gear you used to get the heaviness in your sound on the album?
The which, sorry?
Gear and the sound and how you got your heaviness on the album.
I think Mike could better answer that question. I know that I think there might be a bit of layering, but in terms of like technical specs or anything like that, I think Mike would be able to better answer that question.
Would you like to go into some detail about the gear you used for the production of the sound?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I recorded with my live kit, so it's a Tama Star Classic Birch kit. Trying to think, what did we do? We were going to use different beaters for this album, and I think we still went with the beaters that I use on my pedals. I know that. So we tracked at Jam Factory Studios in Port Coquitlam with Roger, who's our bass player. So he also does audio engineering and production. So he was a big help. We mic'd everything. We had a mic in the hallway. That was really interesting because it's all concrete. Trying to think what else was notable. I mean, it was pretty standard, like miking setup. And I used my live kit to record.
What are the main themes or topics for most of your songs?
Most of the themes revolve around like isolation, like that feeling of being trapped in your own mind, kind of chaos. There's also a lot of themes around like uprising, pushing back, fighting back against dangerous authority figures. So a lot of it, I mean, really, it's just about placing yourself in like a 19th century thing, asylum, and just being trapped inside your own head and trapped inside the asylum against your will, and being mistreated by the practitioners there, and then figuring out your escape, maybe with the other patients. But yeah, a lot of the themes revolve around being trapped, isolation. It's that kind of cold, icy, desolation kind of feeling.
How has your music evolved since you first began playing together?
I think we've improved as musicians individually. We've definitely improved our songwriting. I think we're a little bit more technical, a little bit more unpredictable, I'd like to think. I mean, we still definitely have like catchy hooks and choruses, and we like writing anthems that people are going to remember and they're going to want to sing or chant live. It's not just about throwing people a curveball. Sometimes we want to do things that are a bit more predictable and people can really headbang to and really enjoy. We're not making music for like the technical like music geeks, although we listen to some of that. Yeah, definitely, we've definitely improved as musicians individually. We've improved our songwriting. I think we've done a better job at trimming a lot of the fat. We definitely have some of our old songs where we feel like, oh, we should have cut that chorus. We shouldn't have. That was too repetitive. Why did we do that? So I think we're getting better at being more critical of ourselves and letting ourselves have a bit more time to process song ideas and not just saying, okay, the song's done, we just need to get it done, let's just put it out there. Like anytime a song sounds simple or it's got like a certain rhythm or it's super catchy, we're trying to do that on purpose so that it's memorable. We like catchy choruses with maybe a bit more just like heavy, hard-hitting verses. So.
Awesome. What advice do you have for people who want to form their own bands?
Ooh, number one, make sure you like the people that you're in a band with. I mean, depending on what level you're at as a musician, I think, and what you want to come out of it. I mean, you can be like more of a session player and you can just do it professionally where you don't need to be friends with everybody and you just get together, you make your music, you put it out there and you go your separate ways. Some people do that. They do it more as professionals or as session players. But I think if you want to form a band, like jam with some people that you like, that you want to have beer with, that you want to hang out with, because if you form a band and you end up touring and you're going to spend a lot of time together and you don't want to find out in the middle of the tour that you hate each other. And sometimes that happens for bands. They tour once, they can't stand each other, and the band breaks up, and they put all that time and money and effort and energy into that. So I'd say from the get-go, play with people that you like if you can, and play something you're passionate about. So even if, do it for the right reason. And if your reason is to make money and you want to play a genre that makes you money and whatever, fine, do it. But a lot of us, we do it for the passion of music. And if you're doing it for the music, then make sure that you're playing music that you want to be playing, not just because you want to be a rock star or something like that. So yeah, play with your friends and make great music.
This next one is a two-parter, and it is, what is the name of your most current CD and where can it be purchased?
Sure. The name of our latest album is called Death Always Wins, and you can purchase it by Bandcamp. You can purchase it after June 2nd on Amazon. You can stream it on Spotify. You can purchase it on iTunes. Pretty much anywhere where you might buy an album, you should be able to get it there. And if you want a physical copy, come out to our shows. We can also send it via Bandcamp. Otherwise, you can also get the digital download in a number of places.
And this next one is also a two-parter. Do you maintain a social media network site? And if so, what is the URL?
Yeah, for sure. We're most active on Facebook, so that's facebook.com/deadasylum. We've got Twitter as well, twitter.com/deadasylummetal. Those are the two that we use the most. And hopefully we'll have more on YouTube eventually when we get our shit together.
And that leads me to the last question of the interview. And thank you very much for your time. And that is, what requests do you have for the fans of Metal Devastation Radio? A song you want to hear on air besides your own band?
What's it called? Hold on. I don't know if you can cut some dead air here, or I can keep talking. But I'm really bad with the names of songs. Anybody who knows me will know that. And I love this particular song. And I always forget what it's called. I'm a horrible person. Reclaim the Sun by Morris Principium Est. Awesome song, incredible band. They're just like my band at the moment right now. So that would be my request.
Cool. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much, Craig. It's been a pleasure.